Lester Holt dropped some much-needed truth bombs on Donald Trump. If you watched the presidential debate this week, you probably felt like this.
For 5 years, you perpetuated a false claim that the nation's first black president was not a natural-born citizen.
I got him to give the birth certificate, so I'm satisfied with it because I want to get on to things that are very important to me and that are very important to the country.
The birth certificate was produced in 2011. You continued to tell the story and question the president's legitimacy in 2012, 13, 14, 15, as recently as January.
Donald Trump spent most of the debate telling bald-faced lies.
I was against the war in Iraq, just so you put it out.
And moderator Lester Holt repeatedly challenged him with the facts.
The record shows otherwise, but why is your judgment
The record shows that I'm right.
The whole debate was a perfect example of why moderators need to be fact-checkers.
You have not released your tax returns.
I don't mind releasing. I'm under a routine audit, and it'll be released. And as soon as the audit's finished, it'll be released.
The IRS says an audit of your taxes, you're perfectly free to release your taxes during an audit.
But what Holt did isn't typical for a moderator, and we might not see it again this election. For weeks before the debate, both campaigns argued about the role of moderators, whether they should fact-check candidates in real time. The Clinton campaign said yes, arguing that Trump is a uniquely dishonest candidate who has to be held accountable.
All that we're asking is that the record be checked. And so if Donald Trump lies, which he has repeatedly done in the past, that be simply checked.
The Trump campaign, unsurprisingly, said no, arguing that it should be Clinton's job to fact-check Trump when he lies.
Now to let the two candidates do the fact-checking. If Hillary thinks that Trump is saying something wrong, she should correct him.
I really don't appreciate campaigns thinking it is the job of the media to go and be these virtual fact-checkers.
And as bananas as that sounds, Trump is actually winning the argument right now, at least with people who matter. Matt Lauer's presidential forum was a fact-free Trump fest.
I was totally against the war in Iraq.
Chris Wallace, the Fox News host who's moderating the final presidential debate, has already said he's not going to fact-check.
That's not my job. I do not believe that it's my job to be a truth squad.
Even the executive director of the Commission on Presidential Debates told CNN that moderators should not be fact-checkers.
If you start getting into fact-checking, I'm not sure what is a big fact, what's a little fact. I don't think it's a good idea to get the moderator into essentially serving as the Encyclopedia Britannica.
It is a good idea. The whole reason we pick veteran journalists to moderate presidential debates is because they know their shit. We expect them to use their giant nerd brains to point out the facts and hold candidates accountable when they give BS answers. If all we wanted them to do was read questions and keep things moving, we'd have Ryan Seacrest moderating these things. Oh my God, Ryan Seacrest is definitely gonna moderate one of these things before we die. And this isn't just an anti-Trump thing. Relying on candidates to fact-check each other makes voters less informed. One study found that people who watch he said, she said arguments like this end up feeling like they can't actually figure out the truth. They mentally give up on trying to understand the issue. They need a third party, like a journalist, to separate the truth from the lie. Which is why what Lester Holt did is so important. These debates are the first time that millions of Americans will actually pay attention to what the candidates are saying. If they haven't been following the campaign closely, they're just not gonna know that Trump is a one-man bullshit factory. And if the next few debate moderators don't follow Holt's lead, they're not gonna figure that out until it's too late.